And the two of you are dedicated, which is the best thing about all this. And Bill, one of the things, the comprehensive restoration plan for the harbor that the Corps has recently completed. Maybe you, I think you have a book, you could tell us a little bit about that.
I do, Mayor. Thank you. Yeah, this is what we call the comprehensive restoration plan for the New York Harbor Estuary. This was accomplished really by our partner agencies and non-government organizations. We had over 53 different organizations that are involved, including universities, agencies, nonprofits, cities, and what this does is it really spells out the collective vision of what a restored estuary would look like. It's one thing to say we want a cleaner estuary, we want more habitat, but it's another thing to really describe in detail as to what it looks like. This was based on, we compiled a panel of some of the key scientists who were involved in estuaries to really identify what they thought to be what we call target ecosystem characteristics. What is it about the estuary that we want restored? And based on that, there were specific goals that were identified for each of these ecosystems. And this is all laid out in this particular document. Right now, what we're doing is really going public with it and trying to get the citizens in these different regions to be, first of all, knowledgeable about it, but hopefully also buy into some of these goals.
Can the estuary, with all the commerce, look like what would happen 50 years from now if we reach all these goals?
We are we have some very ambitious goals, such as oyster reefs. I mean, that is one of the which many people don't realize that New York Harbor was once the oyster capital of the world. Unfortunately, because of various types of pollution, the oysters died out. So we are working very closely with some nonprofit organizations, such as the Baykeeper, as John mentioned, to do some tests to see whether oysters can be self-sustaining. The benefits of say establishing oysters is because not only does it provide habitat, but it also provides improvements in water quality. So that's just one example of one of the targets that we've identified in this report, and that we are very optimistic working with both the citizens and the agencies of realizing.
John, I know you work with Future City, a nonprofit organization which has done a great job in educating our young people about estuaries here in our city, Michelle McBean and others. In closing, what clean water message would you like to share?
We hope that our residents take a look at the river. So it's always a small step forward. That take some time when you're walking around your community, see where the river is, ask some questions, get to the places. One of the things that the Army Corps supports, as well as the agencies around them, are the idea of public access. So this main goal is to actually get people to the waterfront. It's actually part of the public trust. So it's our rights as citizens to go to these places. We don't always get there. We block them up because we've industrialized this side of the Arthur Kill so much that it creates dangerous conditions a lot of times to actually get there.
And you've been helping people get there.
And that's a small step forward. Go see it.
And Bill, real quick before we close, I understand that you volunteered into the the Army Corps of Engineers, that you are going to go to Afghanistan to bring your knowledge over there, and you're waiting for deployment. Wish you well. What's it going to be like? What do you hope to do?
Well, right now this is part of the nation building that's taking place. As many people know, General Petraeus has been a very strong proponent of that. And the Corps of Engineers is, we're the engineering arm of the U.S. Army, and what we're involved in is really restoring the basic infrastructure. A lot of things that we take for granted here, like schools, sewage treatment plants, power plants, so roads. So one of the projects that I believe I'll be involved in is in terms of completing this ring road around the country.
Well,
So it's
Godspeed,
exciting work.
Godspeed the safety bill
Thank
over
you.
there, and thank you for your service to our country.
Thank you, sir.
And thank you, John, as well. I appreciate it very much.
Thanks for having me.
For Bill Slazak and John Dobashevitz, I'm Chris Bolwage. We'll see you next week on another edition of Our City.